Welcome to Understanding the Skilled Nursing Facility Readmission Report. With the advent of the Skilled Nursing Value-Based Purchasing Program, as well as the addition of the Rehospitalization Quality Measure in the 5-star rating system, it is important that all nursing homes monitor their rehospitalization rate and use these data to drive their improvement efforts. These reports will help your nursing home do that. This is the title page of the reports you can expect to see. The name of your skilled nursing facility will be in the first row, followed by your CMS identification number for your nursing home, the state you're in, and the overall data time frame. This overall data time frame shows you that data included in this report spans patient dates from July 2013 through June 2016. Each quarter, this date rate will shift. The second page of your report provides a table of contents outlining what is coming in the pages that follow. This next page is page 1 of the report, and it's a high-level view. The next few slides will highlight each section of this page. So this first page shows a high-level overview of what's represented in your report. The report will provide descriptive data and trends of Medicare fee-for-service patients who are discharged from hospitals to your nursing home or skilled nursing facility and readmitted to a hospital within 30 days. The image below shows a basic representation of that process. It's important to note that the readmission rates throughout this report will not be identical to the new rehospitalization quality measure. The rates are an approximation intended to help you track your readmission rates more closely. This next slide is taken again from the introductory page of the report, but it outlines some of the details of the data in the report. The data source for everything you'll see is Medicare fee-for-service Part A claims data. Important to note that this does not include Medicare Advantage patients. Rolling year shows that data in the report are summarized by rolling years, which are calculated by quarters. Every time period in your report will show 4 quarters worth of data. I'll illustrate this when we move on to the next page of the report. And finally, for readmission rates, I will first describe the denominator. The denominator that you'll see throughout your report is the total number of Medicare fee-for-service patients who are discharged from a hospital to your nursing home. For purposes here, discharged from a hospital to your nursing home means that a patient had a nursing home claim filed within 2 days of being discharged from the hospital. The numerator is the number of patients who are among those in the denominator that went back to the hospital for an inpatient stay within 30 days of being discharged from the hospital to the nursing home. It does not matter what else the patient did within that 30-day time period. They might have gone home or to another facility. If a patient was discharged from a hospital and admitted to your nursing home within 2 days, and they went back to a hospital for admission within 30 days of being discharged from the hospital, they will be counted as a readmission in this report. And finally, please note that these readmission rates are all-cause. They are not risk-adjusted, and they include both scheduled and unscheduled readmissions. They also do not account for readmissions across state lines. This final section outlining the first page of the report shows some of the detail that you'll see in the pages that follow. Readmission rates are summarized by these various population segments. First, you'll note race, age, and sex. These are based on Medicare enrollment data of patients. Primary diagnosis is the primary diagnosis on the index hospital claim. The index hospital claim is that hospital stay that happens immediately before the patient is admitted to the nursing home. The report summarizes readmission rates by several primary diagnoses, and we'll see these in the pages that follow. Any diagnosis is any diagnosis on the hospital claim that happened immediately prior to the nursing home admission. And again, this report summarizes readmission rates by several diagnoses. The length of the index hospital admission shows the number of days that the patients were at the hospital for that hospital stay happening immediately before they were admitted to your nursing home. The number of hospital admits in the prior 6 months shows a picture among the patients who went from hospitals to nursing homes and how many additional hospital stays they had before being admitted to your home. Finally, high-risk medications summarizes patients who were discharged from the hospital to the nursing home and were on one of several high-risk medications. This next page of the report shows data. Chart 1 that you'll see here shows readmissions from nursing homes to the hospital, specifically compared to the state readmission rates. The gray line that you'll see is readmissions for patients who came from a hospital to your home and were readmitted back to the same hospital. The blue line is for patients who were readmitted back to any hospital, even if it was different from the one they came from. The green line is a comparison to the state rates for these readmissions. Note that if you do not see a marker, the marker being the round or triangular dots on each time period, for one time period, this means that data were suppressed. We'll outline this in more detail on the next page. Finally, the y-axis and the x-axis. The y-axis is the readmission rate, and the x-axis shows the time periods. Note that each time period is a year's worth of data. Every time period shifts a quarter forward but contains an entire year's worth of data. For example, the first marker is July 2013 through June 2014. The next time period shifts forward one quarter to October 2013 through September 2014, and so forth. This next page of the report shows the data that feeds into that chart we just reviewed. Please note that all of this is fake data. You'll notice that some rows here say suppressed. Data is suppressed due to data privacy if there are fewer than 11 patients who were discharged from the nursing home and at least one of those patients went home prior to being readmitted. In all other cases, the first column of data shows discharges and the next two columns show readmission numbers and rates for people discharged, readmitted back to the same hospital. The final two columns show patients readmitted to any hospital. This next page shows a state-level picture of readmissions by day. The time period is noted at the top of this chart, and what this shows is the percentage of readmissions that happened on each day all the way up to 30 days. In this time period, for example, about 4.5% of readmissions across the state happen on day 1 of the patient being discharged to the nursing home. On day 2, about 5% of those readmissions happen, and so forth all the way on to day 30. This final page is also a state snapshot, but it shows a picture of population segments for your state for the most recent time period of data available. The first column shows the broad population segment category, race, age, sex, diagnosis primary, and so forth. The next column shows the specific groups within those categories. And the following 4 columns show data associated with each of those groups. The third column is the total number of discharges to the nursing home that falls within that category. The next column is a percent that shows the percent of that total. For example, for the first row, total, 21,835 patients were discharged from a hospital to a nursing home. This is all patients, so the percentage is 100%. The next column shows the number of readmissions that happened within 30 days of discharge for each of the categories that you see here. And the final column is the readmission rate. This is the percentage of the total that this falls within. So in the first row for total example, there were 3,822 readmissions. This is 17.5% of the total, and that is the readmission rate for the total population segment for this time period. This concludes our brief review of the new reports. If you have any questions on the content or on receiving your report, please contact the applicable person for your state listed here. If you're interested in joining the Nursing Home Quality Collaborative, please visit the website at the bottom of this slide. And this concludes our presentation. Thank you.